everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this video I got a lot of fun crafts, but I think it was finally time for us to meet one-on-one, the person behind these hands. So I'm glad that we finally get to meet, and I look forward to doing more face-to-face. But in the interim, I kind of want to explain something. So I went ahead and recorded a bunch of content, and normally how I record is I have an idea of what crafts I want in one video, and then I make that video. Well, just because of timing and how I had to get certain things out the door or whatever the case is, I just recorded a bunch, and then through editing I pieced them together. So we're going to do something a little different. You're not going to see at the end of the collection of the crafts in almost all the videos. There will be one or two that you'll see the collection, but more often than not, you won't see the collection at the end of the video. And I also won't be vocalizing which one my favorite is, because I probably did one craft a month ago, and then one just recently, and I pieced them all together, okay? But I'll let you guys know which one my favorite is, but I'm more interested to know which one your favorite craft is. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I really look forward to you guys joining my channel and watching my videos, and I always appreciate your guys' feedback. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this craft, I need to label some plastic envelopes that I have here. And I'm already using one, and I put all of my transfer tape scraps in there, and I need another one that would hold my craft board cardstock, and then I need another one for my parchment paper. So I went ahead and just made some labels for those envelopes here. So I'm going to go ahead and get those weeded out. I absolutely love using these plastic envelopes. I use them for all of my vinyl scraps, and they come in clear plastic, and they also come in multicolors. So I use the multicolors for like the colored vinyl. So they have like a yellow envelope, so all my yellow scraps go in there. Of course, I have, you know, several different yellow envelopes for iron-on, permanent vinyl, let's see here, permanent, and then just, you know, glitter vinyl and all that stuff. So, I bought a lot of them, and I bought it a few years back, maybe 2 years ago, it could be a year ago. And if I can find it, I will list it. Got it off of Amazon, and I absolutely love storing my scraps in there. And I actually did a label at the bottom here, and with all the, and I just, well, let me go ahead and show you actually. I think it would make more sense. Okay, so you guys seen this if you watched my craft room tour, you would have seen this anyways. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it. But I just made these labels when I bought these envelopes, and let me go ahead and move that over. So this one is a blue envelope, and of course it houses all of my blue vinyl. This probably should go on my green one, but anyways, so this is all my blue, and this is removable. So I didn't label like the name of the color, because that's pretty self-explanatory. I just labeled the envelope, so I know that way if I have two blues, I don't know which one, I wouldn't know which one is permanent or removable. And plus some of these actually, well, this has a, watch, I won't be able to find one, but some of them does not have like what they are on the back of them. And of course, like for example, looking at this one, I have no idea. I mean, I could assume that's going to say removable, but like let's just say that part's cut out, then I won't know. So that is why I have them labeled, you know, what type it is. And of course, they're all in a filing system or in a drawer, and they all have like all the removable envelopes are there and whatnot. Now they don't have all of the colors. So for example, like this is like my pattern, so all of my pattern vinyl, and it's all in here. And I have quite a bit because when I did Mother's Day, I sold a bunch of Mother's Day mom tiles and used patterns. But anyways, so I used the clear plastic envelopes for colors that they did not have. So I'll go ahead and move that over. And I decided, so what I did is I did labels for that, but this I've decided just to end up doing some vinyl just for labels, just because they're not going to go in that drawer. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to actually be underneath my desk and to the right or to the left of my desk, right below my Cricut machine. So I thought I could get away with, you know, having a different labeling system. Okay, And I'm just using Tech Wrap's permanent vinyl. Of course, you can use, you know, whatever vinyl you want, any color. I just thought I'd do black, just keep it simple and easy. So let me go ahead and get those pesky middles weeded out. I have some scrap transfer tape that I have here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that part off because we don't need that. Get my scraper tool and scrape the front and the back. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so my idea is to put it right here at the top. I had to put this upside down because it was hard for me to see if it was straight or not. So I just decided to flip it upside down and put it on there. Ooh. Go ahead and make sure I scrape that down really well. Perfect. Then I can go ahead, since this is the video to get things done, I'm going to go ahead and put my craft board. I use craft board a lot. It's a thicker cardstock. I'm not sure what the poundage is, but I use this for like all of my blanks. I use this because it's thicker, so it hides, you know, whatever design I'm putting on the frame. So I use craft board all the time, although I have been having a hard time finding just white craft board. Been looking for months, and I don't know if they're going to quit making that or what, but anyways, so that's that one. So let me go ahead and get the other two done. All right. Oop. Perfect. Turn that around, transfer tape. Okay, so here is my current situation. This is what, back when I first started, I had a bunch of different colors of these envelopes, and this is where I would put my scraps in. And well, since then I have exploded in the amount of vinyl that I have. So here's just all of my parchment paper that I like to reuse a lot. So go ahead and put this in here. This one. And for those who are new to crafting, parchment paper is used a lot for sublimation or to like help align things with your vinyl for layering. So it's really good to have a good scraps for your crafting needs. Okay, so here we go. We got transfer tape, parchment paper, and then we got craft board scraps. Okay, I love that I finally got this done. Currently, I am using a pump bottle for my rubbing alcohol, and I had it labeled and it came off, and I like it, but one thing I don't like about it is it's a twist top, and then you pump, right? And I just don't like it because like sometimes when you pump it, close it, and then twist it, some of it kind of splashes out or out of the bottle, and I just don't like it. So I bought these actually, Lainey from Crafted by Lucas suggested these pump bottles, and it comes in a set of 3. I gave my sister one, so I only have 2 left, and I like it because for one, I don't like spraying rubbing alcohol because then you can get on parts of your project that you don't want that on there. But also, I like the fact that you don't have to twist it. You can just close it and you're good to go. All right, so that is what we'll do. And I just went ahead and cut out some vinyl and just labeled it rubbing alcohol. So that is what we're going to put on this bottle. Oh goodness. There we go. Let's go ahead and get these middles out here. So I cut my finger a couple weeks ago, the time I'm filming this video, in the kitchen. And luckily I didn't need any stitches, but my finger is still so sensitive, so apologize if I'm going a little slow. It's just still has not healed. I mean, it's healed, but it's still very sensitive from where I cut it. And I am trying to be very careful and mindful of how I go about crafting with my finger. Oh my goodness. It was a very traumatic experience. I've never cut my finger. I mean, I would say never, but as bad as I did. And had to get a tetanus shot, but all is okay. Literally 2 days later, after I cut my finger, my daughter, oh my goodness, I had my hand down like this, and I cut this finger here, and she just jumped. And she didn't do it on purpose, but she jumped and her knee just nailed my finger. Oh my goodness, that hurt so bad. She felt so terrible. She does not like anyone crying, including babies. Like, it just stresses her out. She just does not like that. She's just such a sweet kid, and she just wants everyone to be happy, just like her. Okay, there we go. Now, I did use permanent vinyl, and I think when I first created this one, I used removable, and it was really thin. The font was really thin, and so I just went with a little bit of a thicker font, and then, of course, used permanent vinyl. I think that's when I first started crafting, and didn't realize that you needed to do that. So I'll just go ahead and knock everything over. Okay, and then we'll just pour that in. I need to get more, obviously. That's okay, I will get more. But for right now, this should be good to go. All right. So for those who are wondering what I use rubbing alcohol, if you're new, you should always put rubbing alcohol on any surface that you're about to sublimate on or that you want to be permanent. This just helps clear the surface from debris. Technically, I probably should have used some rubbing alcohol for this, but that's all right. I think I actually kind of got this a little crooked, so I might having to take it off anyways. I think it's just going up so slightly, but I think I might end up redoing it just because I think that's going to bother me. We'll see. All right, this is going to be a lot of work to do, but I need to get this done. Okay, so I have these labels, and I have, if you guys see my craft room tour, you'll see that I have these pink bins, and I've had these in my craft room forever, and they definitely have served me well, and I've seen better days. I mean, they're definitely all scratched up, and I took vinyl off of most of these twice now because of me rearranging my craft room, so they are well loved. And as luck would turn out, I have some more because I have more bins I need to use. So I wanted, since I did my craft room tour back in, I think, January, I reorganized everything. And let me cut some of this off. I have some vinyl heft, or some vinyl that I could save for a different project. But anyways, I have not had time to make labels or redo the labels. And I thought now's the time to do it. since I have some kind of little break in some crafting time. And you know what? I think this might be easier if I just take it row by row. Now, I will be honest, I separated or particularly placed these words in Design Space of how I want to cut it on the vinyl, because, oh my goodness, they had it so close together. And I mean, they do that so that way you can save the most space on your vinyl. But for the sake of my sanity, I did not want to have to try to cut around, you know, try to use my scissors to cut out the word. And I just thought it'd be a little bit easier if I just went ahead and, oh goodness, space them out a little bit better. Finally got them done. I think I had like 26 of them to do. I don't know. I forgot. I didn't really count, but I know there was quite a bit of them. So here we are. And it honestly, I love the font. It's really bold. I'm glad I chose black. I had pink on them previously, and I went with a more bolder choice because it's just easier to see than the faint blush pink that I used from before. So I will link these in the description box. I got them off of Amazon, and I just clip on, you just push it underneath there, and you are good to go. I found this Unisub, and it's the Hobby Lobby's brand, or at least they sell a lot of their Unisub stuff, and they showcase it as like you can do a to-do list or you can do whatever, and it's a dry erase board that you can sub on, and then you can press it for 385 and for 60 to 70 seconds. Right now I have my heat press setting at 385, and then I think I need to turn the temperature up. I'm going to do 70 just so that way we have a good, nice press. So that's heating up. And then my idea for this is to get some cute little dry erase markers. I haven't got any just yet, but let me go ahead and try opening this up real quick. Idea for this is to put in my diaper bag, and so that way my daughter can use dry erase markers to draw on this. So that is when we go to restaurants or we're at the doctor's office and we're waiting and she needs something to do, and it just doesn't make sense to have her tablet out or anything like that. So that is the idea for this project. And so I'm using infusible ink. I do have a sublimation printer, but I told myself if I'm going to do any subbing, it's going to be using infusible ink because I have so much of it and I just need to use it up and get rid of it. So that is what I have full intentions of doing. Now you're not supposed to use your weeding tool with this because you can scratch the ink and you don't want that to happen. So if you notice, I was really careful of not, you know, scratch, or when I did have to use it, I wasn't really picking at the areas where it was part of the design. So I just have, let's draw. And when you do this, you do want to mirror it, and you always want to put the ink side up. And then, of course, like I said, mirror it. And then before we do anything, I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, use my last sheet sheet of paper towel, and then get my rubbing alcohol, get some pumps here, and you just want to clean the surface really well, because you don't want any dust particles on there. If you do happen to not lint roll this and clean the surface, you could get these little blue speckles. Sometimes you just can't avoid it. It happens. So I'm just going to make sure that it's completely clean. And I think, I don't know, forget how the orientation was. I forget if it was like this, or did I want it like this? I guess I could go either way, right? I think I had full intentions of having it go this direction. Yeah, this makes it really tight though. I think that was my plan. I'm gonna think about this now. Like I said, I think I had full intentions of having it here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, so let me go ahead. This is dry enough. Let me get this bottom side. Okay, so I do things upside down so I can see better. I know that seems weird, but I am nearsighted. I do wear glasses, but I am nearsighted and I have astigmatism. And and my prescription always changes, like the doctors always have a hard time get me a good prescription, just because my prescription changes as I'm tired, or not tired, I should say. So, all right. Now, what you should do is you should protect your mat and then put parchment paper over it, because you don't want the ink accidentally coming up. But I'm not worried about my mat, only because there's no ink that's going to spill through. I am worried about the heat press, so I'm going to double up with my parchment paper. Sorry for the noise. Okay, and then you always want to do a lot of pressure and bring this over. And I don't know if I'm going to be able, I might be able to get everything. All right, and then, oops. And then I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown. That was about, I'm going to be really careful. I don't want to burn myself here. Now you should let it wait to cool down, but I'm too anxious. And oh, love it. And it did a really good job sublimating. Let me go ahead and turn it this direction here. I did notice that there's a little bit of a crease here. I don't know if you're catching it on camera or not. And that's from here on up is where my heat press, you know, for my heat press was from here to here. And so I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see if I should just cover this area and kind of make it even. Oh, well, I'm not going to overthink it. But now it's in there, so like now you don't have to worry about vinyl and your kid peeling it up, and then they can just have fun drawing on this. So that's all right. I think it's going to be okay. I don't feel anything. It might bode a little bit, but I don't know. I really like it. I think I might do another one and have it orient this direction and have something on there. Or I might make a to-do list for me. I don't know. But okay, I really like this. I think it's a great idea. Okay, in this craft, we are going to go ahead and make a shirt for my daughter. I had purchased a lot of them because because she is slowly, but she's almost just out of 2T. She's like in between a 2T and a 3T. Some of her 2Ts are not fitting, but 3Ts are just slightly too big for her. So I'm just trying to get ready for when those 2Ts are no longer going to fit her. And I like to make her these plain t-shirts from Hobby Lobby because A, they're super cheap, and B, if they get dirty, I'm not going to care. I need some shirts that she needs to wear to go to the sitters because her sitter keeps her active and they're outside all the time, and I just don't want to put her in the really nicest stuff. So I like to make a bunch of t-shirts for when she goes over and just plays in the house or outside, and that way if they get ruined, I don't really care. That was my heat press that was warming up as I was talking. Okay, so I wanted to bring attention to this because I had purchased this, and I think it was in one of my craft haul videos, I can't remember. But anyways, this is Make Market brand, so this is from Michaels, and this is a puff and UV color change vinyl. So I wanted to try this out. I'm going to go ahead and use my heat press for this. It's probably going to work best if I actually just use my clamshell from HD Reront. But I have this here. I don't even have it plugged in, and it's going to be a pain to try to get to plug in. So anyway, unfortunately I can't test the UV part only because it is currently late at night crafting and there is no sun outside. If I am able to make a quick video the next day, I have family that's coming in from out of town, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to record this once I hit the light or once I get this out on the sun to see what color it changes. But if I have time, I will record it. If not, I will try to get a picture of it and have it in my thumbnail of some sort if I can. So I think this is supposed to turn pink, I'm assuming. This is actually a protective cover that's on there, so that way it just protects the vinyl. And I saw this SVG, and I'll link it down below, and I thought it was so funny because well, you're gonna understand here in a moment, but I always tell my daughter, I'm like, yes, boss. Like, I just work for free for my daughter. Like, she's just so bossy. Well, anyone who has a toddler or had a toddler understands how demanding those little booger beans are. Oh my goodness. I always joke around and say I never worked so hard for free in my entire life. Oh gosh. You know, they always say that the newborn stage is the hardest stage, and I think those people were nuts. That definitely the newborn stage was the easiest, I found. You know, they always say that your meals are cold when you have a newborn, and I find that my meals are constantly cold having a toddler. That was just my heat press cooling down. I had it too high. But anyways, but she's a really good, sweet, loving girl. But, you know, toddlers are toddlers, right? They're gonna, despite how sweet they are, they got a little spiciness to them, if you will. But anyway, let me go ahead and weed out the middles real quick. Let me know down in the description box which age is was your favorite, or so far your favorite, that you love that stage of life for your child, or even if you're a babysitter or a caregiver, you know, what age group do you like to watch? I think despite her little sassiness, I just absolutely love this age because she says the funniest things. She does the funniest things. Like what does she say? I can do it by myself. Or she'll say something silly like that, or she'll go, oh, mom. You know? Oh, she's so funny. Okay, so this just says, mommy thinks she's in charge. That's so cute. It's so accurate. So I thought that was funny, and I just had to make a shirt out of it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and lint roll that. And then what I'm also going to do is I am going to preheat. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and preheat this real quick. Oh, goodness. So this is going to be the first time that I am trying their puff vinyl. So I'm really excited to give that a try. Okay, is that straight? Hold it up. So I think this says, okay, for 10 seconds, remove carrier sheet from the design while hot. And then it says, remove carrier sheet from design while hot, replace parchment paper over design and press with medium pressure for additional 5 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that down. I'm gonna go ahead and give it, says for 10 seconds. Okay, and then while hot, I'm gonna remove that. Okay, perfect. And then it says it wants me to apply for 5 seconds with medium pressure. Okay. Okay, there we go. So it's kind of giving me that brainy look, if you will. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's probably only because I used my heat press and not like a clamshell, if that makes sense. I think that if I had more pressure on it, I think it would have turned out fine. So obviously it's not going to change any colors inside, but when she goes outside, it will. And like I said, it's dark time right now, so I can't take the shirt outside and you know, see what it looks like. And this project is going to be probably one of my easiest projects. I found these from Michael's, these letters, and I just love the style, and I thought that it would be kind of cute to hot glue these together so it stand up like this. Let me see if I can get these standing up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, and actually it's probably not even going to benefit you guys, but it's going to stand up like this, and it's going to stand up in my, in my craft room. Actually it stood up pretty good, and it's a good idea to know how this would get stood up, so that way I have an idea about as far as placement. So these are just my initials. Now you most certainly can do, you know, something like this and glue it down. But I would do a capital D if you want to do monogram. But I thought it'd be kind of cute to do my initials. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and peel that off, or get that off there. Okay. And I'm going to leave them just white. I think I like that idea. Now, I most certainly can change my mind later and paint them. It won't be that hard. Although this finish, I spoke to it in a different project, and it's really hard to paint. You're almost going to have to sand it. So I'm going to leave it natural. I'm going to leave it in the white. And if I do change my mind, I don't know. I probably won't. Only because I think I have an idea where it's going to go. It's going to go in my craft room, and it's going to go against the wall, and my walls are navy blue, like a dark blue. So that's what I think I'll end up doing. Okay, so I just need to get an idea about, you know, how this is going to get placed. So put that dot there, and then at the corner there. All right. Okay, not bad. You can kind of see the glue, but it's okay. All right, and then we will add the R. Probably should stand this up. Okay. So I marked it here. And there we go. Okay, I think we got that. I'm gonna let that cool down for a second so that way when I lay it down for you guys to see, it won't move. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. I know this is really hard to see on my white table here, so let me go ahead and bring this in. I don't know what I have close to me, but I think you can now see it pretty good, right? Really like this font style. Again, this is from Michaels, and you can just pick out your initials and you can do a monogram, like do a capital letter and 2 lowercase letters. That would be really pretty. But yeah, this is, oh, looks like that just came off. I just gotta reglue that. But yeah, this is a great fun project and super easy.